relationship with Gardner? Do you think he lands in a good spot now? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, me and Gardner had a really good relationship. He's always treated me really well since I've gotten here, helped me as much as he could, and we just had a really transparent relationship. We would talk about things, and I'll always be rooting for him. He's a great player, super smart. I've learned a ton from him, and I don't really know about the details of the situation in Philly, so I can't really know if that's a good spot or not, but I know wherever he goes, he's going to make the most of his opportunities, so I'm excited to watch him. You know, I'm going to miss him. He's a great teammate, so but I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him to get an opportunity.
Yes, man. In preparation for the competition, I haven't taken weeks. It's not really an option for me. Number 2 is not an option. I feel like anybody that comes in and thinks that's an option, that's what they're gonna get. Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Gardner, it didn't work in Jacksonville. He's definitely number 2 there, and now
leave yourself now.
Well, now he's number 3. I don't know what that means. We'll have to wait for his next podcast appearance with Chris Long. But trade gets done. And look, this just underscores how ridiculous the quarterback competition was. My first thought was they're propping up Gardner Minshew in an effort to trade him. As it lingered, Chris, you and I kicked around the idea that maybe they're actually considering going with Gardner Minshew to protect Trevor Lawrence from a Joe Burrow type of an outcome because he's got no help around him. Once Urban Meyer declared last week that Trevor Lawrence will start, that's when the game was up, and they got a 6th-round pick for Gardner Minshew that can become a 5th-round pick based upon playing time. But, yeah, they were trying to get more. And they probably were amazed that a guy who's got 37 career touchdown passes and 11 interceptions and has played pretty well would only yield a 6 that can maybe become a 5. And, they finally got to the point where they had to do something. And the Eagles, it's kind of surprising the Eagles did it because they're already 2 deep. Right. They want to be 3 deep because 17-game season, and we got the COVID uncertainty. You got to have enough good quarterbacks around to get yourself through the season.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, of course. You know, we've heard Howie Roseman before talk about how much he values backup, 3rd quarterback on the team. I mean, he seems like it's higher than most teams. You know, I think the other aspect, too, you got Jalen Hurts. He's a running quarterback. You never know what happens there. Joe Flacco is almost an artifact now in the NFL as far as what quarterbacks are concerned. Only Tom Brady's the only other older artifact, at least playing like a position that way. So, I look at it that. So there's a little insurance there. And Flacco's on a 1-year deal, right? And I believe Gardner Minshew has 2 more years left on his deal to where you go, okay, now if Flacco retires after this year, we at least got Gardner Minshew here to be backup, holdover, starter, if we draft a quarterback, whatever it may be. So I think from those angles, it does make sense for Philadelphia.
At the risk of defending Joe Flacco, he did come into the league 3 years after Aaron Rodgers. He came into the league the same year as Matt Ryan. So it's not like he's broken down. Yeah. Well, and Joe Flacco, we've talked about this before. He is the rare franchise quarterback who, when the window closes on starting opportunities, doesn't say, see you later.
Right.
He's continuing to hang around. He loves the game. He's willing to be a backup. Tom Brady would never be a backup. Peyton Manning would never be a backup. Aaron Rodgers would never be a backup. But Flacco, who was on 2 different occasions the highest paid quarterback in the NFL over the past decade, he's willing to do the Randall Cunningham thing where, hey, you know what? Being a backup pays a hell of a lot better than any other job I'm going to find, so I may as well do it.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, especially if you love it, you love being around it. I mean, yeah, it's a great gig to have, no doubt about it. And you can only do it for so long, so you might as well do it as long as you can until they kick you out the door, as we've talked about before. And the one thing you can always say about Joe Flacco, I mean, for me, again, I think he'll be one of the more, underrated real good QBs because he was real good. He has no ego. He checked his ego at the door with the Baltimore Ravens. He's one of the rare franchise quarterbacks that was just like, hey, I mean, go ahead. Defense, you guys, it's all about you guys. When you need me to make a big throw, I'll make a big throw. And the style of football he played, the culture of that team, very hard to play quarterback there. It's not easy. And, of course, it's not always going to look pretty because it was always about let's run the ball, let's play through the defense and all those type of things. But, man, I saw Joe Flacco in person too many times on the field when I was playing at the end of my career, how he started. What was it? first 5 years. Did he go to the playoffs, some playoff games? I mean,
yes.
Went up to New England in 2011 and 12. One time they beat New England. He outplayed Brady both times then. 2014, he went up there again in the old crazy formation game. Would argue he outplayed Brady in that game as well. He's got a clutch factor about him, and I respect his no ego and just doing it for the love of the game at this point of his career. I really do respect it.
We were at that 2014 playoff game. The Ravens were up 14 points on 2 different occasions in that game before the crazy formation that in a roundabout way spawned Deflategate, but that's a different story altogether. But you're right about Flacco. And look, Chris, teams wouldn't offer him contracts to be a backup quarterback if he did have an attitude, if he wasn't willing to humble himself and accept his spot on the team. The problem, though, is now if you're the Eagles, if you're Jalen Hurts, if you're a Philly fan, does this make it a little more tenuous for Hurts? Not that they have to worry about Flacco jumping Hurts, but you got Minshew, who is not going to come in there and say, yeah, I'm happy with my spot as number 3 on the depth chart. He's going to want to show that maybe he deserves to play, and if Hurts struggles at all in the regular season, maybe Minshew is the guy that the fans start clamoring for, not Flacco.
It could be. He's that type of personality where fans they're gonna like Gardner Minshew just because his answers. They're on social media, the way he looks. He's just got a great carefree, charismatic, attitude towards the game. That's kind of infectious. You just go, man, the guy loves football. This is cool. He seems cool. I like it. So yeah, he is that type of guy where he's a backup quarterback where you go, man, I don't want to let this guy on the field if I'm the starting quarterback, because if he has a few good plays, the fans are going to rally around this dude. The other thing too, I'll just say because of the Eagles situation, hey, I don't know. The whole Jalen Hurts off preseason was weird to me. What did he play? 10 plays? Jalen Hurts has got to play more quarterback. We know that. It was 1-3 at the end of the year last year. I'm just shocked at how little he played. They didn't really what was it? A week ago, Nick Sirianni still wouldn't just say he was the starter. So I don't know. It's just weird mixed signals out of there. We know there's certainly some Deshaun Watson interest in Philadelphia, 100%. We know. I know you know from people. I know from people. So that whole situation is a little odd to me right now. I'm not going to lie, Mike. When they traded for Gardner Minshew the other day, I thought, wait, is this a precursor to where now they might trade away Hurts and maybe Flacco for a Deshaun Watson with picks or something like that? That was really one of the things that kind of percolated through my brain a little bit. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I am a little stumped about why Jalen Hurts, who we know is a little raw as a pocket passer, I know he got sick in the one game, only played 10 plays the whole preseason.
I think the move means that the Eagles are out.
They're out,
the
right?
Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. Now, one of the reasons they're out, Texans want too much. I don't know that they get back in, but I think that move was, okay, forget it. We got to go forward with what we have, and we'll see. If Jalen Hurts can't get it done, maybe the guy who's number 3 gets to be number 1. We'll see how that plays.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.